We are back again. We are back once again. I figured I'd come back one more time before I head out to NAB on Saturday. So I figured this is a good time to, Thursday afternoon would be a good time to come out here. Now this, once again, this is the pre-show. This is the pre-show. The show hasn't actually started yet. We already got a thumbs up. It's fantastic. We already got our first thumbs up, waiting for some people to arrive in here. We want to make sure the crowd gets in here before we actually start. Now, I'm going to do a couple of things on social media stuff. Just checking on here. It's always interesting. Here we go. So I'm going to do this. It's interesting how social media works. It's very interesting. It works different on mobile than it does on the Mac itself. Let's just do this. And let's do this. And that should probably be enough. You're watching the pre-show. Show hasn't actually started yet. It's going to start here in a couple minutes. And actually, we're going to go ahead and go. We're going to talk about what we might expect at NAB. We got some announcements, as I expected. Let me just check one thing before we start our countdown. Let's just check this, check that, check that, check that, check that, and check that. Okay, we've done some checking. We're going to start the pre-show. We're going to start the countdown to the real show. You're tuned into the pre-show right now. Let's get started. We'll be back in 3 minutes. here we are. We're back. This is the real show. This is the real show. We got our first comments already, our first thumbs up. 10.7.2 expectations. Well, I'm going to say the next best time, unless they do something weird and come out over the weekend. Now, that's not that unusual because they've updated Final Cut Pro on a Sunday before NAB, and they've updated Final Cut Pro on NAB Monday when they brought out ProRes. They brought out ProRes NAB Monday, 2018. I think that's when it was, 2018. So it's like I've been saying at the last couple of Final Cut TVs and coffees that we've had. Thank you very much for the thumbs up. We already got 2 thumbs up. We just started. As I've said in the past couple of weeks, couple of months, I wouldn't place a bet on a Final Cut Pro update before NAB, but I was hoping, fingers were crossed, that the Final Cut Pro team / Apple would see the benefit. Thank you very much for the thumbs up. Would see the benefit of putting out an update for NAB, because the way it's looking right now, this NAB 2024, is going to be the same as the last NAB, which is zip Final Cut Pro news at NAB. They still have a few more days, but usually they update it on Thursdays. They didn't update it so far. I'm just checking the App Store. I wasn't confident, like I said, I wasn't confident that they would. I wouldn't have, like I said, I would not have placed any bet that they would have brought out a Final Cut Pro update before NAB. But if they don't, they still have, obviously, a couple more days. In the past, the Final Cut Pro team has updated Final Cut Pro once on a Sunday night, and they updated it on Monday morning before NAB. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen. Like I said, my confidence was not high that this was going to happen. It doesn't look like at this point we're going to see an update for Final Cut Pro at NAB, and that's a shame because they would have got a lot of activity. So that's 2 NABs in a row. If they don't update it by Monday, 2 NABs in a row with zero Final Cut Pro activity at NAB. 0 if they don't update it by Monday. And like I said, I wouldn't take the bet that they were going to. So when's the next time there could be an update? When the iPad Pro comes out. I'm just doing an X test. Yes, that's there. Sean, our friend Sean Beckner, good afternoon. And our friend Scott Hartman says, hi, Richard. How are you doing? Thumbs up to everybody watching. We got a bunch of thumbs up already. We got a bunch of people watching already. So I figured I'd come on one more time. Look, I love the studio. Thank you very much for the thumbs up. I love this upstairs studio. I walk in here, adjust a few things, and then I go live. It's easy to do. My microphone is set up, ready to go. Everything is ready to go. It's so simple to do. Thank you very much for the thumbs up. You're the best. Is anybody else going to NAB besides me? Am I the only person going to NAB this year? From our crowd, from this crowd, from the Final Cut TV crowd. Is anybody else going? Is anybody else going to NAB? I have a list. As a matter of fact, let's pull them up. I have a list of sponsors who are sponsoring my trip to NAB, which is really, really good. Chris Smith says, looks like no update before NAB. Yeah, I didn't think there were going to be. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. I clicked the wrong button. Let me turn that off. Didn't mean to do that. Nope. As I've been talking about, I was hoping there would be an update, but I wasn't confident So when would the update come then? It's not going to be WWDC. That's not going to happen. Very, very unlikely that to happen. The next time I would say would be in May when they introduce the new iPad Pro. I'm thinking they're going to put out a new version of Final Cut for iPad, Final Cut Junior for the iPad when they introduce the new iPad Pro, which should be the beginning of May now. That was delayed. So we'll wait till May. It's too bad that I have nothing to talk about at NAB Final Cut Pro wise. I was hoping I'd have some kind of a update with some features, and when I'm at NAB, I could promote it. I can't. There's nothing to talk about. The last update was 4 months ago, 10.7. That's already been talked out. All the tutorials have been up. There's nothing new and exciting so far at NAB for Final Cut Pro. Unfortunately, there will be, listen, Blackmagic is coming out tomorrow with their pre-NAB live stream. They've already updated the camera. The Blackmagic camera update's already been out. Tomorrow, I forget what time it is. We'll pull it up in a minute. They're going to do their typical live stream pre-NAB. And I expect to see Resolve 19. At least the beta version. So that's one of the things I expect. Our friend Scott says, we will live vicariously through you. Absolutely. Scott Gillies, my buddy and I are going. We will be there Sunday night. Hope to see you there wandering the aisles. Well, Scott, don't wander the aisles. We have a Final Cut Pro. We have an FCP at NAB Facebook group. It's a small group. It's got 60 or 70 members, and it's specifically for keeping track of what's going on at NAB. As far as, let me just pull this up. As far as any, let me just pull it up here. Any things that perhaps Final Cut people might be interested in. So go over here, FCP at NAB, and the address is groups FCP NAB, and we're going to keep track of things going on. So this is where, if you want to meet up, this is where you want to go. This is where we're going to be going. For example, let me just show you one thing. Here we go. Look at this. We have a list over here. There's no super meet, regardless of what the website says. There's no super meet. 15 events we have. We have 15 events starting Saturday night, Sunday. There's 4 events on Sunday, Monday. 4 events on Monday. There's even events on Tuesday, different places that we can possibly meet up. So this is where the list is going to be updated. So don't just go randomly hoping to meet me at NAB. You might. Thank you very much for the thumbs up. It's appreciated. You might run into me randomly, but rather than go randomly, let's go to some of these places. Go to FCP at NAB. We're going to have the schedule up of different places. Most of them are free. I'm going to Michael Cioni's event on Saturday. I'm planning on it. And that's in the list. I can't wait to be there. Big Bot Studios, you are going to be there? Michael Moore, I will be there tearing up the floors at NAB. Once again, don't wander around randomly for 3 or 4 days. I mean, some of that, yeah. When I get there on Sunday morning, I will be doing random, not that organized, going through the different places. Monday, I have interviews. Of course, I'm going to interview all my sponsors. That's one of the things. When I get there Saturday, I'm going to try to do live streams 10-minute live streams, 5-minute live streams to give you a virtual window into NAB as it's happening live. Besides those live streams, because that's going to be on my cell connection, so that's going to depend on how good my cell connection is wherever I'm live streaming from. Besides that, I'll be filming all day. I'll be filming everywhere I go. I'm going to be filming, I'll be interviewing LumaFusion, and I'll be interviewing Hedge for Mac, Paul from Hedge, and we might have an announcement from our friend Roger Bolton from over there at Coremelt. And of course, I'll be covering Sunday night. I'll be covering the Content Creators Party put on by FMC, Future Media Conferences. I'll do a short live stream from there, and then I'll film it and be able to pull clips from that later. And later on at NAB. Everything is turning green. Although we're supposed to get rain again today, which would be interesting. Which would be interesting. If we didn't do, with everything's turning green, as you can see, this is the backyard. So one of the good things they had, this is Ecamm Live I'm broadcasting with. One of the good things on Ecamm Live, I can pull the comments in as they come in. And I can eliminate anybody if they say anything crude or anything inappropriate. I can ban them from inside of Ecamm Live, which is really cool. Let me just see something here. So we got it. We got a comment from X. We're getting comments from X, Twitter. I don't see any comments from Facebook. Let me go over there on Facebook. The problem is with Facebook is I never can tell where I should be commenting. So it says I'm live, which I am. Let me put a comment in here. Facebook test. And see if it comes through. Is that what it says? Yes, let's try this. Let's see if it comes through. See, it's not coming through. Oh, there it is. Yeah, there it is. All right. We're getting comments from YouTube, most of the audience, Facebook Live, which is another segment of the audience, and X, all three. So here's the schedule, the rough schedule. I will be getting to Las Vegas on Saturday, check into my hotel, of course, drop my bags, organize what I'm going to take with me. Then the most important thing I'm going to do is go get cream or half and half for my coffee. I have to have that. There's a couple of Walgreens within walking distance of my hotel because I've been to them before. So I'll drop my bags off, go to the Walgreens, and get my cream, my half and half for my coffee. Priority number one. Come back to the hotel room, make a cup of coffee, and then head out to the party on Saturday night. Michael Cioni and his brother are having a party. I'm going to head over to there. Michael's been on the show before. I've talked to Michael at NAB. Usually every time he's at NAB, I get a chance to talk to him. So we'll head over to Michael Cioni's party on Saturday night. I will come back to the hotel, download any media that I have. I've been clearing my hard drives. I've been clearing my MacBook Pro hard drive. All my phones are cleared. I will have 2 4-terabyte SSDs, Crucial X9 SSDs to take with me as backup. So I have 2 separate copies. And so I have 2 copies. I'll have my MacBook Pro copy, and I'll have 2 separate copies on SSDs of all the media. Typically, I do 10 to 20 hours of media while on NAB. I stream some of that. I'll be using LumaFusion on my phone to edit the live streams, to put them out. There's something that you don't have. There's no Final Cut on the iPhone. LumaFusion is on the iPhone. I'm a big fan of LumaFusion. We'll be interviewing Terry and Chris over there at BEA on Monday. That's not going to be streamed live. We're going to do the interview. I'm going to take it back, do a quick edit, and then I'll stream that live. What is your main focus? Found you through YouTube's short on NAB. What is your purpose for the event, Mr. Richard? Well, Mr. Richard, I have only my next door neighbor calls me Mr. Richard. I have a little girl over there. She calls me Mr. Richard. Well, here's the focus. There's some things that I'm interested in, some manufacturers. I'm not interested in covering every single, going around to 60 different vendors and trying to get a little snippet here and a little snippet there. My focus, like blinders, is on anything Final Cut Pro related. Now, since the Final Cut Pro team sought to not give us an update prior to NAB, so far, they still could put it out, but the later it gets, the less likely it looks. I won't have much to report on Final Cut Pro. I'm not going to report on Final Cut Pro from 4 months ago. That's not going to happen. I'll probably meet up with a member or two of the Final Cut Pro team, but that will be private. That will not be public. Unless they say I can say something, I won't say it. And then I'll just go around to vendors. I'm going to do DJI. I'm going to go to DJI. I have their equipment. I'm going to go to, if I see Insta360, they just announced a new camera, an 8K camera. Insta360, they've pre-announced an 8K camera. I think the announcement is actually going to be tomorrow. They've teased it. Insta360 has an 8K camera coming out. So there, besides Final Cut Pros, anybody that's related to Final Cut Pro that has something interested with Final Cut Pro, I'll go to their places. But I'll hit LumaFusion for sure. Big fans of LumaFusion. I'll hit Hedge for video to see what they're up to. They just bought Whiteness. So we'll talk to them, talk to Paul from over there. That'll be on Monday. I'll hit DJI. I absolutely will hit Blackmagic. Blackmagic has the biggest presence at NAB every year. Biggest presence. Blackmagic's event is going to be tomorrow. They're having their live pre-NAB event to make all their announcements tomorrow. So I'll be watching that. And they've already announced update to their fantastic camera app that's free. It's a free version. Fantastic job. And I also want to mention Road Capture app. It's also free. I'll be using that. It has dual camera capabilities. Now, why didn't your comment come through, Jim? Oh, there it is. There we go. Small rig, Condor Blue, newer OWC. So small rig, yes, I have small rig. I use a lot of small rig stuff. I don't have any Condor Blue, but I understand why you would want to see them. Newer, I have newer stuff, and I have OWC stuff. Absolutely. I'll go to OWC. Our friend Ronnie Cortens is going to be there. And there's going to be somebody that's going to be a surprise that's going to be over there at the Hedge booth. I got inside information from the person. They're going to be at the Hedge booth. I'm not sure what their purpose is going to be, but it's going to be a surprise. I'm not going to make the announcement. We'll wait till Hedge does or this person does. So I'm going to probably go to a few dozen. Panasonic, I'll hit Panasonic up. I'll definitely spend probably once or twice. I'll go to Black Magic. I want to talk to them about not only Resolve, but I want to talk to them specifically about their camera app, how great it is, and how much we as consumers appreciate it. Thank you very much for the thumbs up. It is appreciated. So the idea is I'm going to do a live stream when I get to the airport on Saturday, probably around noon, 11:30, between 11:30 and 12. I'm going to pull up a live stream, but once again, I'll probably be on my cell connection, so it's going to depend on how good that is in any given place that I am. So I'll start Saturday from the airport, Final Cut TV and coffee. Won't be at 10 o'clock as normal. It'll be from the airport. Then I'll get on a flight, get to Las Vegas, get to my hotel, get my half and half, dump everything in my hotel room, and then I'll head out to Strata, the Strata party, Michael Cioni's party. I'll head over to that. Michael Cioni and his brother. I'll head over there as long as things go as planned. I mean, you never can tell. As long as I'm not overly tired. It's about an hour. It's about a mile from my hotel is where the party is. So I'll just take an Uber up. I could walk, but probably after being on a plane and all day, I'll probably take an Uber. That'll be Saturday. Thank you very much for the thumbs up. It's appreciated. Thank you. So that'll be Saturday. Sunday morning, NAB starts at 10 o'clock. Well, I'm going to get up Sunday morning. I'll put some clips together from the Strata party, Michael Cioni's party. I'll play some of those Sunday morning after coffee. Get ready to go to NAB at 10 o'clock. It opens up at 10. There might be a Final Cut Pro session at 9 o'clock, so I might go to see what's going on there. FMC has 4 different Final Cut Pro instructors this time. More than they've had for years. So the new person is Jen Jager. She's going to be there teaching. And then we have Abba Shapiro. We have Photo Joseph is teaching some kind of a Final Cut Pro and graphics session. And then we had Nick Haraz is also teaching. So we have 4 different people teaching Final Cut Pro sessions for Future Media Conferences, which is one of the sponsors for me to come to NAB. So Sunday, my plan is get on the show floor, stop at Black Magic's booth for sure, talk to them a little bit, and go to some specific places. You have no idea, if you've never been to NAB, how big NAB is. Thank you very much for the thumbs up. How big it is. It is massive. I won't get to the West Hall until Monday. I'll get to the West Hall on Monday, but there's also, I got to check my calendar and activities where I'm going to be at any certain time. But there's also a place where I'm going to be meeting people that want to meet up is over by the Starbucks at the central lobby area. Central, yeah. The North Hall is under construction, so you can't go into the North Hall. But the South Hall, upper and lower, are both open now. So that's where some of the sessions are going to be. Black Magic is in the South Hall lower. Some of the sessions are going to be upstairs. I think the Content Creators Party, Future Media Conferences is going to be upstairs. So Sunday is going to be going through NAB kind of quickly, talking to friends, filming, doing a few live streams. Let me just pull this up for you real quick. This is one of, let me see, is that over there? Yeah, here it is. Let me pull this up. Wait a minute. You know what? I can do this. So what is this? What is this? How do I do this? Subtitles. Now, I know there's a way to do this. Let me see if I can do this. There we go. I'll pull that up. There we go. and I'll show you the rig that I have coming. I'm looking at my downloads folder. Let me see. Today, is that today? That's that. Huh. Where did it go? Where did it go? It says downloads. I don't see it in my downloads. Let me see what's going on here. Downloads. Oh, no wonder. So I have a setup. Specifically. I've been honing it to use at NAB specifically. Let me show you what it looks like. I have it over here. Ta-da! This is my new mobile setup. With this setup, I can record 3 cameras simultaneously. Now you may be saying, I see one camera, I see the iPhone, I see a second camera, I see the Action 4, the DJI Action 4. Where's the third camera? The phone can shoot 2 cameras simultaneously. I'm using the Rode app that lets you record 2 separate files in 4K, front camera, back camera at the same time. So when I'm talking to somebody, I can be shooting them and I can also be shooting myself. So I have 2 different files. I can switch back and forth or put a picture-in-picture there. And then I have the DJI Action 4, which is a much wider shot that I could use. So I can shoot with 3 cameras at the same time with Pro Audio. This is a Sennheiser MKE 400 medium shotgun mic plugged into my DJI Mic 2 transmitter. The other one is right here, underneath of my shirt. You can't see it. You don't have a big blob sitting here. Normally, my DJI receiver would be here, plugged into my phone, and this Insta360 gimbal balances fine with it, directly plugged in here. But right now, I have it plugged into my Lumix S5 Mark IIX, so the audio is on this recording. So that's just a part of it. There's the full video is on my YouTube channel, youtube.com @ Richard Taylor TV. So Jim says, works great, just tried it. What are you talking about, Jim? What works great? Oh, you talking about the Blackmagic camera app. Why is that audio coming through there? It shouldn't be coming through. I'm hearing it. Let me mute that. You're talking about the Blackmagic camera app. Yeah, I've been using that for a long time. Now, here's the thing. I use the Blackmagic camera app if I'm just shooting one scene. If I'm just shooting a scene or shooting somebody, I can use the Blackmagic camera app. But while I'm at NAB, I'm going to be shooting both front and back cameras. And for that, I have to use the Rode Capture app, which is also another free app. Oh, there you go. Okay, there you go. Yeah, dual cameras on the Rode app, iPhone Rode app. Yeah, it's a free app. I've been using it for a while. And yeah, it works really well. It's free. Rode, Blackmagic, 2 great camera apps. You don't need Filmic Pro anymore. Filmic Pro is they just completely ruined their business model. I hope they fired the crew and everything else, so I will not support them in any way whatsoever. Plus, it takes 5 clicks with Filmic Pro. Once you press the record button, in order to change a camera lens, once you press record, 5 clicks to change a camera lens on Filmic Pro while live recording. Ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. If I'm doing a stationary shot, it's not a problem. But when I do live streams, I change my cameras all the time, different camera lenses while I'm live. So forget that. Every storm chaser will get excited about the road app. Yeah, it's been out for a while. It's been out for a while. So I talked about that on my setup. As a matter of fact, I have the setup over here. Now, I don't have the phone hooked up, but this is on a monopod. This is on my iFootage monopod. This is what I'll be using. I really, really like this Action 4 camera. It's so much better than the GoPro 12. Now, we'll see what comes out. Like I said, Insta360 has announced an 8K camera. An 8K camera? No, it can't be an 8K camera, can it? Yeah, it can be. It can be. Let me see what's going on over here. So we are on everybody we should be. Let me see if I have it's been updated. Live stream, YouTube, streaming. No, I don't want that. Let me see what top looks like. Yes, there we go. Let's pull this up. Let's pull this up. Let's see what the heck's going on here. So we will start from the beginning, give them a fair shake. This is the new Insta. I don't know if there's any audio. I don't know how that's, whether it's going to work or not. Let's try it. $8K. They're advertising it is 8K camera, Insta360. The announcement is going to come out tomorrow. Don't know the rest of the specs, have no idea. 8K, is that going to be the new thing at NAB? No, AI is going to be the new thing. It was new last year. Everybody talked about AI. They sprinkled AI a little bit around like a spice on all their products, but nobody, it hasn't really developed yet. Let's check the backyard. Not much happening back there. The birds are, I can't tell if it's raining or not. Looks like it should be because it's a little bit darker than usual. The birds are not there. So Insta360 has an 8K camera of some sort coming out tomorrow. I use their gimbal. I really, really like it, the Insta360 Flow. So we'll see what they have to do. Now, if they have an interesting camera, I will stop and see them at NAB. All the sponsors, I will stop at all the sponsors for sure and talk to them. Now, our friend, one of our sponsors, is not even going to be at NAB, but he's still, Roger Bolton, Cormelt, still sponsors my trip there. So thank you, Roger. Thank you, Roger. What else do we have? Let's check on, do I have another? Let me just check one more thing. So we had an eclipse here. Let me see. This is it. All the different pieces. Let me see what I have here. Here we go. This is eclipse. We had eclipse on the West Coast, East Coast. I can feel the eclipse on my hands. I'm standing at here, April the 8th, 2024, right in the middle of the solar eclipse. There's no shadows anywhere. If you notice around me, I have lots of trees, but there's no shadows. Another one of our community cats. There's the other one. They just wander between our house and the neighbor's house. I have an acre and a half. They wander back and forth. So that was during the eclipse. People, we're all excited about the eclipse. Thank you very much for the thumbs up. It's appreciated. And let me just check to see, make sure. I'm checking the App Store, make sure they didn't update Final Cut while we were on the air. Sometimes they get a little sneaky like that. But anyway, it doesn't look like we're going to get the update for NAB like we were hoping for. But anyway, it doesn't look like we're going to. We don't want that. So what else do you want me to stop at NAB? I'm not going to stop it. There's going to be 1,200, 1,300 vendors there. I'll probably get to a few dozen. I'll be going to all the parties. There's one party Saturday, like I said, Michael Cioni's party, Strata. And then there's 4 different events Sunday night, 4 events on Monday, and then 3 or 4 on Tuesday. My plan is to go to the one on Saturday. Sunday night, I'll go to the Content Creators Party, Future Media Conferences. For people that have taken their courses and their classes, they get in free. Outsiders, $100 to get in. So after that, there's another event that I'll be going to. But like I said, go to FCP at NAB, the Facebook group, and we will have everything there. Let me see. Did I get that? Here we go. 8K is pointless given the storage requirements unless 4 terabyte comes with a new 1 terabyte and 100 terabyte SSDs become dirt cheap. All you can do with it is short form content or popping in and out with it. Besides which, how many people have 8K monitors in front of them? Not many. That's never stopped anybody before. I don't have a 4K monitor now, and I'm shooting in 4K for years. I'm shooting 6K. My Lumix S5 Mark II X shoots in 6K open gate. Full frame, 6K. Jumping from 6K to 8K is not that big a deal. I am not saying that their 8K is going to be as good as my Lumix S5 Mark II X full frame Panasonic camera. I don't expect it to be. It's just an interesting jump that they're making. The Action 4 shoots 4K. I think the Hero 12 might go to 5.9K, the GoPro. It doesn't make any difference. I'm not saying that I would shoot 8K. I'm just curious about the 8K acquisition. Like I said, I shoot 6K. I don't have a 6K monitor. That doesn't have any bearing on what I'm doing. So if it shoots 8K, storage requirements, you're absolutely correct. But it's not pointless. It's just the evolution. You expect them, thank you very much for the thumbs up. Do you expect people just to stop no more resolution above 4K? Doesn't make any sense. Of course there's going to be, thank you. Of course there's going to be advancing towards higher resolution. Another one, fantastic. Fantastic. Sound effects, got to turn them up. There we go. But I understand what you're saying, but doesn't make it. It's not going to. You're not going to influence Insta360. They have the product coming out. It's coming out tomorrow. Now, also coming out tomorrow, probably we're going to get a sneak peek of Resolve 19. Yes, we talk about Resolve on this channel. Let me just pull that up. If you go to Blackmagic Design, and just like I predicted earlier, 21 hours, there's going to be NAB 2024 update. So add to calendar, there'll be a live stream. Our friend Grant Petty will be talking about what's coming up at NAB. This is a very, very clever way they do this because they used to do a press event at NAB. before NAB opened, they would do a big press event. This is better. This is better. It's not mixed in with all the clutter of NAB. And they're going to announce something tomorrow. There we go. Let's go back to our comments. Our good friends was hoping for a new 1-inch 360 to modernize, but probably won't be that. Folks are thinking an X4. I'm a big fan of the X3. There you go. Seems weird to me that Resolve is on version 19 and Final Cut is not even at 11. Well, Final Cut is the slowest to update of all the NLEs by far. Last year we had Premiere and Resolve both came out with text-based editing, and Final Cut is still text-based editing. What's that? What? Text-based editing? We don't know anything about that. Of course they do. They're working on it. They just haven't got it out to us yet. Okay? That's all I can say. When they were announcing, it felt like FOMO since DJI announced the Avanta 2 today. Orthogonal products, but maybe the same similar buyers. Yes. Thank you very much for the thumbs up. So I'm not saying go out and buy the Insta360 8K. I'm just reporting the information. They're not a sponsor of mine. I don't anticipate them being a sponsor anytime between now and NAB. I'm just reporting that that's what they're going to be talking about in 8K. What is Grant Patey going to be talking about? I think he's going to be talking about Resolve 19. Maybe a beta. They typically have a beta release at NAB. They did last year. So let's see if that's the case. Test. Hello, Pedro. Thank you for tuning in, Pedro. Thank you for the thumbs up. Let's see what happens. I don't anticipate anything from Final Cut Pro. Last year was completely dead for Final Cut Pro at NAB. Nothing. This year, unless they put out an update, nothing. Nothing for Final Cut Pro at NAB. Maybe a couple of vendors might have some little things, plugins are doing or extensions or whatever. But without an announcement, look, it's 4 months since 10.7. 4 months since we've seen any features for Final Cut Pro. Now, I'm saying the next best time for a Final Cut Pro update will be the beginning of May when they release the iPad Pro, the new iPad Pro. They're probably going to release a new version of Final Cut Junior, the iPad version of Final Cut, at that time. And if they do that, they'll release a new version of Final Cut for the Mac. In the meantime, Blackmagic is update. I'm sure Adobe Premiere is going to have some updates. I don't know what Avid's going to be having. Don't know. We'll be there in case anything surprising happens. We'll be there at NAB, and we'll be reporting on it. So just go to youtube.com. Here's the address. youtube.com @RichardTaylorTV. Subscribe. I'm going, as a matter of fact, it's already up there, I think. Let me just pull that up. Let me pull that up real quick. Well, let me just get rid of this comment first. Thank you very much for the thumbs up. It is appreciated. Let me see that. Some more comments about the DJI Osmo 4 is great. Doesn't have the heat issues that GoPro has. Pushing a small camera to 8K could add more. Yes, you're absolutely correct. Let me pull that up. Keep it coming up there. Yes, they can get it out, but the practical benefits will take a few generations. Absolutely. I did not disagree with you. I'm not against it, but as a work in progress, I'd rather go as 4K, 6K established standards. Yes, I agree. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying they're going to put it out according to their stuff, so we'll see how it is. Do I expect it to be as good as my Lumix full-frame camera? No. My Action 4 is not as good as my Lumix. My iPhone's not as good as my Lumix. But they're all pretty darn good. I mean, you know, the little teeny Action 4 is really incredible. So Jeremy says, hello, Final Cut Pro team. Anyone there? Well, let's do this for the Final Cut Pro team. We love the Final Cut Pro team, but we'd certainly like to get you to have features out quicker. What audio are you currently using for your stream now? Very nice. I am using a Apollo Twin X. Apollo Twin X, let me just show you what my audio setup is here. Apollo Twin X runs all of these plugins that I'm using. See these plugins? These are all the plugins that I have on my microphone. I have a TLM 103, a Neumann TLM 103, running through all of these plugins through an Apollo Twin X interface. Now, the deal is this. These plugins run in the Apollo Twin X hardware. So these plugins are just like as near to real plugins as you can get, hardware plugins. I'm using all these plugins in my Apollo Twin X. They have a chipset in the Apollo Twin X that runs these plugins. So it's almost, they sound really, really good. I absolutely agree with you, they do. But these are the plugins that I'm using right now. Channel strip, mixing board, analog this, analog that. It's expensive. The Apollo Twin X is, I don't know, $1,200. The microphone is right here, just out of view. I don't like these people that have big arms that come in and have microphones and cover up their face and the arm comes in from here and all over the place. No, you can hide the microphone. This is a TLM 103. I'll pull it back into view. You can see it. It's right there. That you can't, if I just adjust it right there, you just can't see it, but it's only about 6 inches away from my mouth. So it's plenty close. It's a Neumann TLM 103. Absolutely. That setup is dope. When I do stuff like this is something that I just didn't get it and throw it together. I've been honing this for years. Trying this. Right now, I love the Apollo Twin X by far. Yeah, the reason I asked is because mic is non-visible, but still picking up very nice. It is literally this far away. It's right here. Oh, did that backwards. It's right here, yes. I don't like the microphones in the view, especially when they block mouths. And they have these arms that come in on this side and arms that come in on this side. Oh, I got to look like I'm a real DJ with the microphone in the arm that takes up half the screen. No, you don't. Hogwash. Something else that I really don't like. Have you seen the new trend when influencers are holding their DJI and Rode mic like this? It's not the way it's supposed to be done. It's supposed to be a lapel. Stick it on your shirt like it's, you don't have to hold it like this and talk into it. It's not cool. You look like you don't know what you're doing. Put it on your shirt like it's supposed to be. That's another pet peeve of mine. Adrian says he loves his Action 4. I had an old GoPro, silver something, 7, something like that, and I misplaced it. So I said, let me go see what's out there. I got this DJI Action 4 for $239 from the DJI website. They had refurbs, $239. Took a few weeks to get it, but it really, really is nice. I really like it a lot. Has a lot of very, very cool features. If you're at NAB, I'll have it with me. I'm going to be filming with it sometimes. I'm going to wear it sometimes and film everything. And then some of the times I'll be more select with my iPhone. I'm not bringing my Lumix with me. The DJI mic is great. It absolutely is great. I love the DJI system. I had the Rode Wireless Go 1 and 2. Once the DJI system came out, no, I sold all my Rode. Not because of the quality of the audio. The audio quality is comparable because of the clunky factor. The DJI system is extremely, extremely clunky. The receiver is big. The transmitter is big. The receiver is not touchscreen. You can't see anything. You got to look from the top of your camera. The DJI system is from the side. It's much, much better. It's just all these clunky factors. People who have an arm and all, usually gaming streamers that placed in an exact location would block their keyboards. Now, I understand, first off, those arms are meant for DJs that aren't on the air. Okay? If you need an arm, keep it to the minimum screen real estate that you can. Don't have it coming from the side and coming up your mouth and you're over here. Oh, I got to have this arm. This arm's got to come over and it's got to... No, come up from here. Just come up from the bottom if you got to have an arm. You don't have to have it coming out from all different places like an octopus. It's ridiculous. Use a clip for crying out loud. This is the new thing. It drives me nuts. I have a DJI Mic 2 transmitter here, and I have to hold it up to my mouth to talk into it. No, you don't. Put it on your shirt like you're supposed to. You don't have to hold it here. You don't have to hold it here. That's not what it sounds like. It sounds like from here. You're just ridiculous. You look like an amateur. You all look like amateurs when you do that. Influencers or not, you look like an amateur. I'm the same with the mic. I do my processing in a Metric Halo ULN8 and have the Earthworks Icon Pro, which is beautiful, but still out of sight. I mean, my setup is I can keep it out of sight. If you have to have it in sight, just do the minimum amount. Just have it come up like this on a stand, whatever. That's fine. I don't mind that. Don't block your face with it. Don't block your mouth with it. Put it off to the side a little bit or just bring it up. Mine is right here. It's perpendicular. It's parallel with my face. So the capsule works really, really well. I love this Neumann TLM 103. People who hold those mics because they don't know what to do with their hands, honestly. Well, it's a new trendy thing on influencers. Thank you very much. We got 17 thumbs up. Fantastic. To me, it just seems silly. You're holding it up here. Little teeny mic capsule. It's ridiculous. Now, if you want to use the DJI or the Rode microphone in front of somebody, they make an arm. They make an arm. And you can clip it in the arm with the windscreen, and then you hold that in front of there. But not this little teeny capsule. It just looks ridiculous. I mean, yeah, I sound like I'm screaming, hey, kids, get off the grass. I understand that. The young people want to hold this little mic. You just look ridiculous. Just look ridiculous. Does it sound better? Maybe a little bit. Let me see something here. Just in the backyard, we got a bird. All right, I'm back. Now, let me show you what I'm talking about. Let me show you what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. So let me show you how this works. All you influencers out there that are holding little teeny mics in front of your face. Ooh, DJI Mic 2. This will be my companion while at NAB. It's a fantastic system. It is fantastic. So all you do, don't do this. This is you look ridiculous. You look like you don't know what the heck you're doing. Don't hold it here. Put it on your shirt like it belongs, or if you want to hold it in front of your face, see that clips on there? How that clips on? And then you put the windscreen on. And then you look like something. Then you look like something. So this is how you would do it if you want to hold it in front of your face. Now, mine says Rode because I bought this when I had the Rode Wireless Go 1 and 2, but it works fine with the DJI. It just, any wireless mic just clips right on there. And then you can be a real reporter and hold this. Now I use a Sennheiser MKE 600 shotgun mic when I interview people, but this is wireless, but it just looks like you know what you're doing. Thanks for the chat. I must take off to shoot. We'll subscribe. Looking forward to NAB if I don't make it. Absolutely. This is what you need. I keep that with me in case my MKE 600 something goes kaplooey with it. What else do we have? Oh, we got one more. Here we got another movie here. That's my other movie. So a couple years ago, this is what we used to have at NAB. Let me just show you. Now, why I don't have my cell phone there? It's odd. Wow. That's too big. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So this is what we used to have. This is the good old days of NAB and Final Cut Pro. These are the kind of events. Watch this line going into an Apple presentation by the Final Cut Pro team. Steve Martin.
Hey, this is very meta.
Yeah, exactly.
How's it going?
All right.
We'll let these guys in there talking about
doing each other.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just walking down the line filming people. Look how long this line is for the Final Cut Pro event. This is what they used to do at NAB. This is the good old days.
Oh, yeah.
Very, very long line. This is the Final Cut Pro team presenting in the convention center at NAB. I don't know why they stopped doing this, but they have. There's Brad, our friend Brad. They said you can't come in.
That's probably good. Yeah, that's
Step
for the
out
best.
of the line.
I made sure of that.
It's probably for the best, but I'm going to try to sneak in anyway.
Okay.
Richard, got Oliver Peters right here.
Hey, Oliver, how you doing?
Hi. Well, doing good. Tired. Long day.
That's the good old days, Final Cut Pro at NAB. Will they ever return like that? Will they do it when the Final Cut Pro team does presentations? Don't know. But so far, this NAB looks like another dud like there was last year. Still no update to Final Cut Pro. Everybody else will be updating like last year, but Final Cut Pro is missing in action. a little frustrating, Final Cut Pro team. It's a little bit frustrating that you can't put out features 4 months. It's been 4 months since 10.7, and you haven't, during that 4 months, you can't put out another update with a feature or two, especially for NAB. You're just leaving money on the table when you do that. Putting the update out when the iPad Pro comes out is not the same as putting the update out before NAB. Two different things. NAB is a different audience than your live streams. You have Apple fans. You can potentially reach people that wouldn't necessarily look at Final Cut Pro. Disappointing. It's been 4 months since 10.7 came out. It's getting, 10.7 was very cool. The team was very excited and energized. And here we are back to the old, we'll get around to it when we get around to it. It's not very, thank you for the thumbs up. It's not very, you're kind of abusing your users by not having a more regular schedule for updates. It's frustrating. We are frustrated, Final Cut Pro team, that you can't get out updates on a more regular basis. But that doesn't mean that we don't love you, because we do love you. But just get some other stuff out. Get some other features out for us. That's all. In case you're new to this live stream, the Final Cut Pro team does watch these. And if you want to make a comment, they very likely will see them if it's appropriate. Professional. Absolutely. Let me just check, see if there's anything happening on Twitter. So tomorrow, Blackmagic is making their announcements, probably Resolve 19. And Insta360 has an 8K camera. Let's give it a chance, see what's going on. You can maybe shoot 4K, 6K if you want to. I shoot everything in 4K. Okay. Now here's something that I've changed recently. I was going back and forth with somebody on Twitter about 24p versus 30 frames per second, 24 versus 30. And I normally just shot 24 because a little less data. It always looked good. But now I switched over to 30 because the live streams are 30 regardless of what I feed it. If I feed it 24 frames per second, the live stream is still broadcast at 30 frames per second. So I said, well, rather than 24 to 30 conversion, I just switched everything back over to 30. All my cameras, my iPhone, my Action 4, my Lumix S5 Mark IIX, which I always shoot 6K with that. And they're all 30p now. I switched them all to 30p. So I don't have to worry about it. If I'm doing a film and can have the option just to shoot 24 for the whole film, maybe I'll go back to 24 for that project. Thank you very much for the thumbs up for that project. Now, I mentioned to you that my sponsors are here. Luma Touch, Hedge, Coremount, and FMC. They are my major sponsors, and I appreciate each and every one of them. They've all been sponsoring me for a while, so that's very, very cool. Now, however, listeners can also sponsor me for a coffee, for a hamburger and French fries. Go to buymeacoffee.com/Richard Taylor, and you can buy me a coffee there. For NAB, you appreciate the NAB coverage, spend $5, buy me a coffee. When I use your money to buy myself a coffee or hamburger or French fries, I will be going to the In-N-Out Burger for sure, and a couple of other places. And there's a place that I go for breakfast called Maxie's, Maxies. They have a great breakfast. I'll probably, if I'm hungry, I'll probably be going there on Sunday morning before NAB. Let me just double check, make sure they didn't slip something out on us. No, they did not. The Final Cut Pro team is not going to do anything for NAB, it looks like. They still could slip it out over the weekend. They've done it before. Buymeacoffee.com/Richard Taylor. Buy me a coffee. $5. Buy me a hamburger and French fries. You can buy 2 coffees, 5 coffees, 10 coffees, whatever you want. I appreciate it. Takes care of some of my food expenses. And it's just nice to show you appreciation. What else, though? Don't forget to subscribe over there, YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm putting up a channel. I put up a playlist for NAB 2024. This one might be on there. I don't know for a fact. So, are you disappointed there's no update to Final Cut Pro so far for NAB? Or you just weren't expecting it? Like I said, I would not place a bet on it. I've been saying for weeks I wouldn't place a bet on it. I was just hoping that there would be. It makes my job easier at NAB as a proponent of Final Cut Pro. Now it's like, oh yeah, they had the update 4 months ago. But what do they have now? Nothing for the last 4 months. Nothing new. Okay. NAB's got 65,000 people last time, maybe 70, 75,000 this time. They're not all Final Cut Pro people by any stretch, but that's okay. That's okay. I presume we're going to get updates in May with the iPad Pro at this point. So we have some of the people going to NAB. What else do we have? What else do we have? Woodpecker. Our good old friend, the woodpecker. We thank you very much for the thumbs up. Jim says, not disappointed. I need to be more motivated to edit. Well, it was a good fall. With the Creative Summit, they really delivered. I think Blackmagic Design will have some new updates available soon. Well, they absolutely will. They're making their announcements tomorrow. 20 hours from now, they're making their announcements. Pre-NAB. Pre-NAB. I will absolutely stop by the Blackmagic booth probably 2 or 3 separate times. I want to thank them for Resolve, and I want to thank them for the free Blackmagic camera app that they've put out. Hopefully you can pick up a few bags of some of those wonderful beans you always mention with those donations. No, the donations will be buying coffees while at NAB. If I buy a coffee out when I'm out, it's always a latte. I get a latte. And I get half and half instead of milk. And I get 2 shots of espresso. That's pretty much my standard. I'll buy them while I'm at NAB. But if I don't get a coffee, I'm still going to be eating, so I'll be getting hamburgers, French fries, and other things. So what those donations will be, even though it's buy me a coffee, it's nice. It'll be for paying for food while I'm there at NAB. Absolutely. Those beans are great. I switched over from triple threat out of a private roaster in New York because I've had issues with shipping, and I order, sometimes it takes a week or 10 days and it shouldn't. New York's like 3 hours from here. It's just too much back and forth. So now I buy it locally. I buy Italian roast as my main dark roasted coffee. I make my coffee super strong. 2 giant scoops of coffee for 1 cup. And it's a fine grind. It's number 3 on a scale of 1 to 20. And I put cream in it. It's very strong, very dark, and I put cream in it to give it the flavor that I like. So NAB. NAB is coming up. I'll be leaving here in less than 4. This time on Saturday, I'll be almost at Las Vegas. I've gone there in 2016, 17, 18, 19, and then 2022, 2023, and then 2024 this year. So it's always about, to me, it's always about, is there anything happening with Final Cut Pro at NAB? Last year was nothing, zero, zip. So we'll see. I don't have an anticipation since they didn't come out with any update. I'm just double checking the App Store. Make sure they didn't sneak one out while we're on the air. Sneaky little devils. They did a great job at the Creative Summit last fall. They were all enthusiastic and everything, and they did say they're not going to put out updates. They're putting out updates according to their schedule. I understand that. It's still frustrating. As an editor, a year ago, Premiere and Blackmagic both came out with text-based editing, auto captions, and a year later, Final Cut Pro still doesn't have it. You're following, you're not leading when you do that. Scrolling timeline took 12 years to get. Yes, it's a nice implementation, and I certainly appreciate the scrolling timeline, but you weren't the leader on the scrolling timeline. When you finally bring out text-based editing and auto captions, you're not leading, you're following. Even if it's better, and I understand that, you're still following. Here's what I want to see. I want to see 3 feature updates every year. At the very least 2, and if you only have 2 feature updates per year, make them big. Make them more than 1 or 2 features. Like 10.6.2, you had 2 or 3 features. Dupe detection and I think voice isolation came up and maybe a couple other things. But absolutely give us, I want 3 feature updates per year. So right now is when we should have the 3rd one. You should have timed it with NAB. I'm sorry. You should have. You should have timed it for NAB. You could have given us something for NAB. But instead of spending time at any kind of Final Cut Pro events, any kind of Final Cut Pro activity, I'll be spending time with Blackmagic Design because they're going to have huge, huge updates. I'll be spending time on other people that have updates at NAB. I'll be stopping at Hedge to see what they have, for sure. LumaFusion, I'll be stopping there. Who else is going to NAB? Anybody else? You're all going to be following me, right? Richard Taylor, right here. YouTube.com @ Richard Taylor TV. That's where you want to go. As a matter of fact, let me go over there. Let me see what's going on with video details. Nope, not video details. I think I put up a list. I think I did. Playlist. Let me see if I did that. I thought I did. I don't see it. What the heck's going on there? Why is not there another playlist? Why don't I have? Well, I'm going to do it right now. I am going to do it right now. Let me live. Let me go over there. Well, let me do this one. Edit title and description. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to set it up right now while I have you. Let me see. 6 playlists. Let me see if it's in there. Top videos. That's not it. Can't believe. Copy. Let me just do this. Oh, that didn't work. Copy. Copy. Create. All right, there it is. Done. Now let me go back to the playlist section. Let me see where that is. Let me go to here, channel content, and then I will go to playlists. There we go. Final Cut Pro at NAB. Shareable link. Copy to clipboard. All right. Okay, there we are. Movies, graphics, MacBook. There we are. NAB 2024, Final Cut Pro at NAB. I haven't added, I'll put this video in there once it's done. But there it is. Go to my YouTube channel, NAB 2024, Final Cut Pro at NAB. Now, the idea is that the most recent video that I do at NAB will be top of the list. Be top of the list. So you always see the most current. Let me just go back here. You will always see the most current video on that playlist. So that's where you want to keep track of stuff. Send me a DM on X for breakfast on Monday. Okay, we'll try to do that. I'll send you a DM on X. Yeah, I'm excited. NAB. If you're not going to NAB, perhaps it's not as exciting for you. I understand that. Not everybody can go. But as far as Final Cut Pro representation, right here, I'm the one that will be representing anything Final Cut Pro activity. I'll probably meet up. Hopefully I get to meet up with 1 or 2 of the Final Cut Pro team. They will be there, but they're not doing a public presentation. They will definitely be there. They always are. They're there with developers, meeting with third-party developers, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But Future Media Conferences has 4 separate instructors teaching Final Cut Pro, which is more than they've had in the past. For the past 2 or 3 years, it's been kind of dwindling. Now they stepped it up a bit, probably because 10.7 came out. So Final Cut Pro team, get us some feature updates. I'm expecting the next time will be in May then, since they didn't have one out for NAB. Not yet. I mean, they did put out a Final Cut Pro update with ProRes RAW NAB Monday. NAB Monday morning, I remember looking at that, say, what the heck's going on? And they released an update to Final Cut Pro on NAB Monday morning. I don't expect that this time. I think they're just not going to do anything. Everybody else is updating, and Final Cut Pro is, wake up, wake up. Get us some updates. Get us some feature updates. Sometimes it's hard to be a Final Cut Pro editor. Not really. I like Final Cut Pro. But I like to tell them, the Final Cut Pro team, exactly how I feel and everybody else feels. Final Cut Pro team, thank you for 10.7. I don't know what you've been doing since then. Nothing is obvious what you've been doing. We'll see what happens. I guess you're going to put out Final Cut for iPad when the new iPad comes out. Anyway, everybody, I'm going to get off here. And Saturday, this YouTube channel, approximately 11:30 to 12 o'clock Saturday afternoon, Eastern Daylight Time, I'll open up the NAB for Final Cut Pro window, live stream, if things go as planned, live stream from the airport. And then once I land at Las Vegas, dump off my bags, get a few supplies for my hotel room for when I come back late at night. I'll be going to Michael Cioni and his brother's Strata party Saturday night. And we'll be filming there a little bit, maybe do a live stream or two, maybe talk to Michael, see what's going on. I'm not really sure what Strata is, some kind of artificial intelligence, something or other. But anyway, don't forget to buy me a coffee. Go over there and buymeacoffee.com, Richard Taylor, for NAB. Coffee. Tell me you want me to buy you a bagel, cream cheese, hamburger, French fries. I have to eat while I'm there. I appreciate each and every one of you. We have the best Final Cut Pro audience of any live stream. I've done over 100 of these live streams for Final Cut Pro. If for some reason Final Cut Pro is updated, I'll come back on, but I don't anticipate anything until Saturday around 11:30, 12 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time. From the airport, which I always do. Don't forget the sponsors. LumaTouch, Hedge, Coremount, Future Media Conferences. They are sponsoring Final Cut TV going to NAB. And I appreciate each and every one of them. All right, everyone. I guess I will see you Saturday from the airport. And we'll open up this window again. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Talk to you later. Everybody, this is for you. This is for all of you. You're a great audience, and I appreciate each and every one of you. See you Saturday. If not before, probably not before Saturday.